How are you? Hopefully some more people will join us today. Hello. What DIY hacks were you looking for, Jess? Hiya. I know I'm a little bit late, I did say 8:30, so I'm gonna just give it a couple more minutes and I'm just gonna get started with my ramblings. DIY floor fitting, Jess. Oh my god. Brady might be able to help with that, I don't know. I'll check with him. How is everyone feeling today? How are you guys feeling? Had a very weird day. I felt really good, and then I've been like up and down. But I think that's just because tomorrow is this new cycle, and yeah, it's kind of just a strange bit of energy maybe that's needing to be released. So I'm gonna look at that today. Right, I'm gonna get started, and yeah, anyone else who joins can join as we go. Yeah, it's been a kind of like very flowy up and down kind of energy today, which actually kind of makes sense because it's like the tide as we come out of Scorpio season, and then hopefully tomorrow as the new moon comes in, we kind of find that like settle in again is what I think is going to happen. Yeah, it's really like, and weird things have been happening as well. Like Paco's destroyed a couple of things, and yeah, I've been hearing strange news from people as well. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, anyway, I hope that everything kind of settles down for everyone. Hopefully by after tomorrow, things are going to feel differently. I've been really excited about this new moon. I don't know about you guys, but the eclipse cycle has been very intense. Like a lot of stuff that I felt like was finished or processed earlier in the year just like come back up. So yeah, there's a lot of emotions that have been sort of coming up and like just needing to be looked at during this season, like Scorpio season. So it's been a bit of a like kind of wild ride, but I feel like it's such deep work that we've been doing or been called to do in that time, and it's all for good reason, because tomorrow this new moon is like so refreshing. Obviously Sagittarius is a fire sign, so it's kind of like, you know, after all that turbulence, now we've got like this clear kind of sense of direction, purpose, in a way like our purpose feeling renewed. Yeah, Sagittarius is you know pictured as the archer, and that is kind of where we want to be now with this new moon. Like, we know exactly what direction we're going in. We know what we're aiming for. And we can draw on that fire, like, energy to just build our confidence, build our ambitiousness to actually just keep following it through. And I think the other thing that I also wrote in my vlog, which I want to highlight, is that it's kind of a good moment to reconnect with any work that you have been doing through the eclipse cycle, and even beyond that, really, because we're coming towards the end of the calendar year, so it is a time we start to kind of go into that deeper kind of reflection and stuff. But I think all that hard stuff that we've actually navigated through and come out the other side of is just more evidence that we like to be sure that we're actually capable and strong enough to do the things that we're setting out for. So I think just come back to that point if there's still uncertainty or anything like that, like, just think about all the stuff that you've already actually accomplished. That is what Sagittarius is about as well. It's like achievements, accomplishments. Celebrate all the things that you have achieved to this point. Because also by doing that, that's how we welcome more of that energy in. If we're starting off now not thinking of in that way and more thinking about the things that haven't worked or how we didn't deal with things in the best way or whatever it is, then we don't really want to bring that energy into this new cycle, basically. This is about reconnecting with that fire, that passion, and just, that sense of confidence and certainty about what we are doing. There's a connection especially to our work, and especially in terms of like life purpose, soul work. Like, we all do soul work, really. Like, everything that any of us do for work, there's some connection to how it helps other people, how it supports the collective in some way, even if it doesn't seem spiritual, anything on surface level. So all of our work has purpose, and this is kind of a message of Sagittarius in a way. It's like, how can we level up? This is where we're called to now. It's like, we have done so much work to get to the point where we're at now, and now is the time to actually take that step up. So in a way, it's like, aim your sights higher, you know. There was a lot of stuff that came up, I think, with Mars retrograde, and that was all about how we had to look at things that weren't working and how we could come to the same things but from a different angle, like work differently towards things. And I think that's the kind of process that we've been through. And now, like, as we go into Sagittarius season, the new moon Sagittarius, it's like how we integrate in all of that now, basically, to actually level ourselves up, level up the gifts that we're given to the world in a way. Obviously, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and synchronistically, Jupiter goes direct tomorrow as well, on the same day as the new moon. So yeah, that like adds, like, it gives this sense of like optimism and lightness and just that kind of like freshness, I feel like, is what Jupiter is bringing. So it's all very much aligned that it's all happening tomorrow. So I feel like we're going to feel this huge shift. And maybe that's why it's been a bit turbulent today, because it's like we're moving from one space to another and it's a little bit like wavy. So yeah, it's a good time to set intentions, especially around your work, your purpose, the ventures that you're doing. If you've had ideas coming up recently, I don't know, like the last couple of days personally, there's things that I have thought about for a while, like for the future, things that I'm actually planning for the future, but I haven't really sat down and got all my ideas onto paper or like thought about it on a deeper level. And the last couple of days I've just been picking up my pen and so much has been flowing out, like so many ideas, and it's just been a full brain dump onto paper. And I feel like that's related to this energy that's coming through. Sorry, I'm just drinking my tea. Yeah, so it's all really exciting. I feel very optimistic right now about the future. There's so many things that I see happening in the future. So yeah, definitely a good time to set some intentions. What are you trying to manifest in terms of not just for yourself, but what you're giving to the world? What are you bringing to life, really, that supports us all? I think that's the deeper call right now as well. It's soul work. What else did I want to say? Yeah, so tomorrow's date carries the numerology of number 4. Taco's trying to get in the room. Yeah, it carries the numerology of number 4, which is nice because 4 is like symbolic of harmony and yeah, just kind of like everything being brought together in a very like balanced kind of way. And it is kind of that level of integration because you've got like 1 and 2 going through the masculine and the feminine, and then 3 the kind of creation, and then 4 is that integration of everything kind of just happening. So yeah, I think a lot of good things could be coming soon. I just feel like for a lot of people it's like there's like new jobs or new roles kind of being taken on at the moment, stuff like that. So that all of that kind of thing is very much aligned with this new moon and this energy. What else? Yeah, so I have a small kind of ritual that I want to do, which is it's not very in-depth, but it's just kind of like more of a reflection, really, practice. But what I thought I'm going to do first is some cards. So, let's have a look. Just going to put them next to me here. Yeah, see, Ace of Pentacles comes up, and I feel like that's literally like, and the 9 of Cups. This is literally such positive energy, like new beginnings, which we already sense with this new moon, but especially around abundance, which is also very strong energy of Jupiter, Sagittarius. This sense of abundance, which I feel is like now we're ready to kind of take it in. I think for a lot of us, we've been working through this, our perspective on abundance, how we connect with and draw in even money, in a sense as well. That's been kind of an ongoing theme this year, actually. I feel like what our time now is like we've done that work, and now like we need to actually be ready to align our thoughts with the abundance that we actually truly deserve right now. And this is what we have the opportunity to take advantage of now. This is what this new beginning is about. A cycle where it's not all difficult and struggle. Like finally we can just take the wins and draw in that energy, which is really, really nice. And obviously with the 9 of Cups as well, it's like, it's just like what we wanted is coming true, you know what I mean? Like the things that we've been wanting to happen, now they can finally happen. Like, they couldn't happen before because there was still work that had to be done. Like, there was still certain things that were just not quite in alignment. But now, hopefully, through all the changes that have happened through the eclipse cycle, and now we're ready. So that's so exciting that we can now draw that in. And that's also a reminder that, like, this, under the Sagittarius new moon, like, it's a really, manifestation energy is really potent. So that's another message to tap into that as well. Like, really sit down and think about what it is that you want to bring in the next few months, especially. What are you actually setting your sights on? Because the Archer is literally giving you the aim and preparing you, so you can actually go after it now. You know, the other thing that's coming up is, like, yeah, work is a big focus, but some people feel like they're just working away and they've been working towards something for so long, but it's like, when is it going to actually pay off? That's what I feel like. So many people have been in that place for the last few months, even the best part of this year. But honestly, this is where it feels like now is the time that's going to change. But we really have to believe in it as well, to welcome it in. A whole new... I've already said that it's a whole new cycle, but the death card comes up as well, which is just obviously synchronistic with that. This is like a proper ending of a cycle. This, I think it's bigger than the eclipse cycle. I feel like there's been an ongoing like lesson that we've all been working through for even longer period than that. But that was kind of like the ending point. This eclipse cycle is like the ending point of that big lesson. So now things are going to relax a little bit. But yeah, it's all these same themes are coming up as well, about balance, and you know, you kind of it's like you have to accept, you know, what you're deserving of. I think that is the other problem, is our mindset. And what I'm getting is, like, still there's so many of us that are not trapped, but like mentally we're trapping ourselves because of our own negative thinking, our own thoughts of lack, and, you know, just because it's been so hard and because we've been working so hard to seemingly no kind of payout, it's hard to just stay trusting of the universe and the way things are unfolding. But honestly, a lot of the work is in our own minds. That's all I'm going to say. Like, we need to shift our mindset. But this is what also is coming up. It's almost like, you know, just getting a completely new perspective. Like I was saying, like a renewed sense of your purpose. It's like looking at the same thing, but like seeing it completely differently. I feel like that's where a lot of us are at now. It's like, oh, okay, I can do something different with this. I actually can do this thing, you know? And this is all to do with, like, this whole thing is connected to, like I said, purpose and soul work, but also on a deeper level, like our own personal calling and paths. Because I feel like there's still so many people that are called to something but actually don't follow it because of their, you know, maybe their past and people around them that don't support or acknowledge what it is that they do, or accept or understand it. And I think that's the difficult part of this process, because not everyone is going to get it. Not everyone is going to understand your path and what you're doing, but you also need to live for yourself. And I think that's the other side of where the balance comes in, because this is about breaking free from all those restrictions. That's kind of, I feel like that is the fire energy of Sagittarius right now as well. It's like breaking out of that. There is no mould that you need to be in to be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And if you don't break out, then you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to shoot the arrow and go and get what it is that you've been working towards. You've kind of just got to be brave now and just do it. I feel like that's what I'm getting. Sometimes it pays to be vulnerable. I'm just getting that message as well. I think there's bravery in it, of course, and sometimes we have to do that. We have to put ourselves in a position that feels vulnerable because it's out of our comfort zone, and it pushes us to grow, it pushes us forward. We are not going to get anywhere unless we step a little bit further outside of that zone each time we want to elevate, expand, achieve more. It's not all going to happen in that same space, one space that we stay in, the thing about money, oh gosh, this is like one of the biggest things I think around this time. Jupiter, abundance. We can't tap into that if we're still too focused on thoughts of lack or just control as well. Control is the other thing. Trying to control and be in control of the flow of abundance in and out of our lives, which we, to an extent, we can't really do. But also, we just need to check our faults. I feel like that's the message. It's like, check our faults, because we could really tap into some abundance in a big way right now with this energy. But if we're grasping onto everything too tightly, then we are not going to have the space to welcome that in. So it's kind of like a big surrender at the same time as being really certain and directive about where you're headed. So we kind of need to kind of pulsate between those two places. That's where the balance comes in. That is how we maintain that, what's the word? Homeostasis. That's within and without. Do you know what I mean? The balance of both. And I think, as I was saying, the other thing, I said this already before the cards, but this is coming up again about new directions in terms of work, and like I said, I see a lot of people changing jobs now or taking on a new role, or like kind of moving roles within the work that they do. But of course, this is the energy of Sagittarius. It's that expansion, that leveling up. So just trust what you feel drawn to right now and be brave enough to claim it as well. I'm going to stop there with the cards. And I just wanted to do a short practice. Oh, my tea's getting cold. So if you want to do it, you don't need much, actually, because I'll close off with the end of it, which will go, I suggest to go into some journaling or writing. But what I'll do is I'll close the session so that you guys can just carry on and do your journaling afterwards without interruption. So the focus is on gratitude, obviously, because this is that's the state where we are able to draw in abundance through being grateful for what we actually have already in the present moment. But especially in terms of gratitude for like the difficult moments. Hiya. I feel like there has been so many difficult moments in the eclipse cycle, and beyond that, stuff's been hard. There's been hard lessons, hard stuff to work through. My emotions are coming up right now even just saying that. So, you know, but the thing is, how do I put this? Like, we have to think of how we can be grateful for even those difficult moments. I think it's very easy to be grateful for all the good things, but how can you find a place or a moment of conflict, difficulty, struggle even, through all of that work we've been doing, and find even just a small piece of that you can still offer gratitude for? Even what you took away from that, what did you gain after that experience? What have you learnt from it? These are the gifts that we take from our experiences. So yeah, so with that in mind, so I just want to take some deep breaths to center into the body for a moment, and I offer the suggestion to place our hands on our heart. And actually just try to bring your mind to an experience that you've had, or something that you've had to work through that's been kind of hard through the eclipse cycle. And firstly, just honour the fact that you have overcome that. And then just take a moment to try and find a piece of that to be grateful for. How can you find gratitude for even the difficult moments? And just offer yourself the space to welcome abundance in as well. And then if we take a hand to solar plexus area, sort of around here, and the ribs, just visualizing the fire energy that you can draw in from Sagittarius. And feeling that expansion in that place, expanding throughout your whole being. And then just inwardly asking, what can I bring forward in this new cycle? What is being awakened? What can I offer? I'm just going to invite you to stay with that for a moment. Go and pick up your pen and journal down some of the things that are coming up for you right now. And just take your time with that. I'm going to close off the session and leave you to do that. And I recommend just following that up with some intentions of things that you want to manifest as we move forward from here. So thank you all for being here today and sharing the space with me. And I'm going to say goodnight and leave you with that